Hi there, thanks for joining me today. I finally got my microphone charged, so hopefully this sounds nice and clear, although my husband says my voice still isn't back to normal yet from whatever that virus was that I had last week. It wasn't COVID, but it was some sort of virus, and it was mostly my throat, raging sore throat, and a bit of an irritating cough. But as long as my nose is clear, I can handle just about anything. Anyhow, I'm welcome back to me doing some work on the list. Now, the last time you saw the list, oh, by the way, if you're new here, I'm Catherine. I live in Canada. I'm east of Toronto. I'm in a little town just east of Toronto, or Toronto if you're from here, on the north shore of Lake Ontario. If you're wondering where this accent is coming from, that's where it's coming from. And I make journals out of old books. I take the insides out and put new old insides in. I make junk journals, and I try my best to actually have them full of other people's junk, rather than working with digitals and such. But I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. There's beautiful artwork out there made with digitals. And I have been known to use some scans and that. But I try my best to make sure my journals are, oh my goodness, I aim for about 95% junk. And to me, that's a good thing. The list, the last time you saw the list, it was pretty gruesome looking. Great big huge old book on John Bunyan's his complete works, and the man wrote quite a lot. He sadly had quite a lot of time to do the writing in. He spent a lot of time in prison for his religious views in England, and I did quite a bit of work on the cover off screen. Simply because my voice was still off this week, and some of the work was even too nerve-wracking to do with the camera going. I apologize, but I will explain to you what I did in case you're sitting there thinking, how on earth did she do that? Because it looks very different now than when you last saw it. It was very worn out and very badly water stained and very grimy. And we still have work to do, so fear not. It now looks like this. These have to be glued down. So we'll work on these together. Let me come back up a bit. There we go. So you can see better. So I wanted to be able to cover up where it says Bunyan's Complete Works. It's beautiful, but this book is Santa's List. And so I've just been calling it The List. And this time of year, everyone knows what the list is. So you might be saying, wowie, okay, what did she do to get all that done? And I'm going to explain to you what I did. We gutted it together. I believe we did. I tried a few times to record, and then the dry, irritating cough just got in the way. So, and now I forget what I have. I think I did. Yes. You know what? I did. We did gut the book together. So because of simply working on the cover, the green that came off on my hands told me that I was not going to have any success if I was going to try and wash this cover with a wet wipe or even with vodka or alcohol or anything like that. And Personally, for me, I'm just as happy to get done what I need to get done and then seal it all shut and seal that 140-year grime underneath 3 layers of sealant, which is what I opted to do. So it's good now, and if anything comes off, it's just extra gold that I have. I did a little bit more. Never enough gold when it's Christmas. So let me remove these for now. These I did with my handy dandy second handy Sizzix that I found on Barrage sale, and that just fits perfectly over that. And it's my favorite kind of Santa. So there's so many different versions. It's like every area of the world has their own version of that generous person who comes on that special night in that time of year. And I like to think of this fella. So since I'm the artist, that's the one going here, but the other one will be going in the book because he makes his way around the world. Now this one that's going on the back, because they put the title on the back as well, is from an old Victorian illustration out of a book that I fussy cut. I didn't fussy cut it. I used my Sizzix again, of children hanging their stockings by the mantle with care. And then the list. Although I can do calligraphy, I really wanted this just right. So I used my computer to print off the list. I wanted there to be no doubt what the title of this book is, The List. Now, if the new owner gets this book and wants to name this something else, it will be as simple as they cut out their favorite picture and put it over top. It's that simple. That's the beauty of a junk journal. You don't have to keep everything that I do to a book. You can make it your own. I rather like the title of the list. It makes it a little mysterious. What's inside that book? So, for what I did with the cover, so it's just going to be a lot of talking. And if this isn't your kind of video, I guess I should have warned you 7 minutes ago. But a lot of people are interested in what to do with a really old book. This one is 1878. This is an old book, but it's stunningly beautiful. All this embossing, those grooves in there. It's not rare. Go on to eBay. You can get your own copy, and it varies from, you can get a horrible copy for, I think the lowest I saw was like $20, and right up into $8,000 for a leather copy that has beautiful gold illustrations in all these different little sections here. What I wanted to do was camouflage a bit of that water stain that was up here. I was able to do that with my Versaclear. It's a different shade of green, but I just wanted to camouflage it, so I wasn't too worried. So, and this is just a beautiful green. If you're ever looking for a really nice, rich green, this is called Shady Lane, and it's just, I'm really thrilled. I wish my local craft store carried more of these VersaFine ink pads, because I only have 2, but I'm very impressed with both of them. More so than the Ranger Archival ink. I'm already off topic. So I sort of camouflaged the water damage, Then what I did through the whole thing was, in this case, which I love, by the way, thank you, Nancy, this corner down here is ground espresso. And I used it and just a soft makeup brush and went over the whole thing to just give it a bit of a more rich color, especially around edges and especially over this green area. It was quite vivid, and that toned it down a lot. So I used that. I think any dark shade would work well. Certainly Gathered Twigs would work well. Walnut Stain would work well. Any of those would work very well. So don't be thinking you've got to run out and buy espresso. You don't. I think I could have easily used one of those others. Then what I did was I got out the gold that I've been using a lot this season. I'm really happy with this one. I've never used this brand before, Stamp Abilities, but it says it's acid-free and pigment. So, so far I've been very, very happy with it. And for best results, store pad upside down. Wow, I haven't been doing that. Let's do that now. So what I did with that was I used one of the brushes that I rarely use. My Dollar Tree sells these makeup brushes in packs of 3. So there's always one of these skinny ones in the package, and I seldom use them. In this case, it came in very handy because I was able to use it with the gold and really get into those grooves. I got into the groove of getting into the grooves and just went around the edges with the gold inking around through all those edges into the hinges. And I also did the other side. So I made sure I got gold around the edges of the other side. You'll see that I removed quite a bit of the old end papers. These papers, they feel like they've been painted. So they're just going to get recovered with something more Santa. Something Santa would approve of. But I wanted the gold around the edge more. I like these bent up, crummy old corners. I want this book to look well used and well loved, and almost as if the pages magically change every year as children grow up and have children of their own. Now I wanted the corners and certain areas to be even more bold gold than what I could achieve with the ink. And that's when I got out the gilding wax. This is the one I've been using. I'm not an expert. This is the first one I've ever bought, but I'm very happy with it, and I got it on Amazon. So it's made by a company called Pebeo. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but I've been very happy with it, and those of you who hang around here a lot, you know that, oh, I love the smell. If they would make soap or perfume that smelled like this gilding wax, I'd be a happy girl. But you know what? They make beautiful gilding wax. So I went over the corners with extra gilding wax here and all these corners. This is a really thick cover. It's really thick. I thought the little green Christmas, the little book of Christmas, the green one, I thought that was thick. That my handheld crocodile almost didn't go through that to put the eyelet in the back cover. It just barely made it. So there is no way that my handheld crocodile is going to go through this one. It's even thicker. So there's no way I can put metal corners on this, even if I wanted to. I don't have any that are as thick. And like I said, I really love this worn out look. I think Santa, he's as old as time, and I think he would have a book that looks as old as time. So that's what I did to get it looking like this. I thought at first that this was a stain, but it's actually a gouge. So I did put a little bit of green ink on that as well. And then what I did was I use aerosol Mod Podge matte sealant. I always get questions in the comments down below of what do you use to seal it with? I seal it with aerosol, so not the paint on. It's the spray can, and it's the yellow can, and it's matte Mod Podge in aerosol. So, and I spray that, and I did 3 coats just to make sure that everything was safe and sound. And I'm going to hold up through the length of time that we need it to for 140 more years. So what we're going to do now today is work on these little guys and get them ready. We're going to glue. I'll glue them on whether we do it today or whether I do it off camera. I'll be gluing them on with 3-in-1. I would interchange either 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac. Either one will do fine. But in this case, since we're doing paper to paper, this gold here, by the way, so many different things, I achieved using the Krylon 18 karat gold leafing pen. So you shake it up the way you would an aerosol can, and you'll get this beautiful gold. I was going to use gilding wax on it, but I didn't want to risk the gilding wax getting onto the cover and messing up what's still going to peek through of these beautiful. This is so pretty, and I wanted some of that to at least be able to show through, and I worried if the gilding wax rubbed off. So I'm going to, since it's paper to paper, I'll use what I think is the strongest paper to paper glue, and that is Art Glitter Glue. So I haven't used this yet today. We'll get going on this. Oh, I know what I need to do. Let's put this lid back on for now. I haven't inked around the raw edges of those pictures yet. Let's move the list. We have work to do on this as well. So these children, the edge needs to be let's do gathered twigs. The edge needs to be inked because the paper is still got you can see the paper core around the edge. Probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it's just me making sure that that white isn't showing. You remember from your art class, dark colors recede and light colors advance. And that's my thing, is I notice when a freshly cut edge hasn't been inked, and so it definitely looks like, oh, well, that's brand new. Whereas just that little bit of distress ink covering up that paper core really makes a difference. Now, one thing that I did, and of course I cleaned up my desk so I could work today, is I got out my espresso. I wanted this gold to look a little bit more tarnished. So I practiced on a different piece. This is the espresso here. And I just want to go around the edge and warm that up a little bit. I don't know whether you can tell because of the camera. Let's come down a bit, but it does make a difference. There we go. So you're just going to have to trust me on this one, that it really does warm up that gold, finishes, gives it a bit more of a finish so that it doesn't quite look so brand new. Now, I've got to remind myself to not be too vigorous, because those little, this is 5 thick, whereas this is just 1 single layer thick. So I wanted that to stand up a bit, so I actually glued 5 layers together. That was tricky, but it did what I wanted it to do. Maybe I'll get that done right now while we're here. I want to I just want those edges to be dark, especially because it's dimensional. I wasn't sure whether my Sizzix would go through if I used cardstock that was that thick or if I used chipboard. And I just thought, I'm not going to risk breaking my Sizzix when I just got it, and it's secondhand, so it's not as if I can take it back and say, this thing broke, or I broke this thing. So it just, I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to make a whole bunch, glue them together. I think it turned out nice. And again, I'll be using the 3-in-1 when I put this. There we go. Okay. Pardon me. Apologize for my coughing. All right, now let's do this. So the little ones hanging their stockings. My house that I grew up in didn't have a fireplace, so we always put our stocking on the end of our bed. Somehow or other, we always woke up, typical as children, we always woke up and our stocking was there at the end of the bed, jammed full of wonderful things. Half of the good stuff that Santa would bring us at Christmas, and he didn't bring us tons and tons of things, but still, a lot of it was in the stocking itself. How many of you got the Lifesavers books that would have like 8 rolls of Lifesavers in it? Oh, I loved when Santa would put a Lifesavers book. There's one. I loved a Lifesavers book in my stocking. Trying to decide whether to go over this with gloss gel medium or not. I gotta move quickly with this. It dries quickly. Make sure Santa is upright. There we go. I think he looks handsome. Now, for this one, I wanted something here. And I went through all kinds of tiny little things. I tried fussy cutting different things. I tried the wrapping paper that my daughter, this beautiful wrapping paper that I love, that my daughter saved for me from her family's Christmas last year. And I tried out of some books and even some Tim Holtz stuff, and I even thought about taking this Santa Claus off of the top of that. These are sort of a 3-dimensional sticker thing, and the top ones come off, and I thought about taking the top of that one off and putting it on there, but I didn't want that. So then I thought about maybe these little candles. They're off the wrapping paper. I liked them, but I didn't quite like how they fit around there. I really liked these little bells. I thought they were sweet. And I liked, this was out of a book. I liked that holly, but then I found a holly that I liked better off of the wrapping paper. Uh-oh, did I? Oh, good. I thought I ruined it. I like, this holly's a little more delicate. There we go. And I like it a little better. So it's going to, let's see how I want to put it on. You've got to decide these things before you. Yeah, I really like that holly the best. I'm wondering if I want to take that stick off the branch. I wonder how many of you are yelling right now, "Don't take it off!" It's coming off, because if I change my mind, I can go cut another one. I've still got more, I've got oodles more wrapping paper. Yeah, that's it. I'm happy. Now, what I did with this one was the wrapping paper was sort of a white color. So I used coffee to darken up the background so that it blends in with the color, because I've inked this paper around the edges so that it kind of has a glow. The glow, I did the glow. That paper wasn't, it wasn't glowing, so that was coffee. And now I need to remind myself what direction. I want to make sure. I think that's just a little fold. I want to make sure I know ahead of time which way. So, all right, glue. Oh, we're at 32 minutes already. No laughing, Nancy. So, what did she get done? Well, she glued 3 things. But there was fair warning at like the 8-minute mark that it was mostly going to be a lot of talking about how I got that cover done, because I didn't do it in front of the camera, and I knew that there were going to be questions. Oh boy. Yes. There we go. All right, now where am I at? 33 minutes. Have you got 3 more minutes? 3 more minutes? Sure. I really thought that I wanted to put some tiny little brads on these ones. So now I want, no, I don't want the gold ones. I want green for Father Christmas, and I wanted red for the children. Now I had another red. Where did it go? I'm going to pause and find the red. Found the red. So, I'm trying to decide whether to put it here or whether to put it here, and I think it makes more sense to put it up here. But will it go through? I think I might use a needle first. sort of to give it a start so I can make it a little bit bigger without wrinkling it. That's better. I wonder if this one's sharper. I have a whole bunch of these. My son-in-law sharpened this one, so I bet it's a little sharper. Yeah. All right, now I think I'm going to put the green on this one. There's still green down here. And we'll put red because that one's going to be on the spine. So we'll put you there for now. It's just a little detail that I think looks nice. Now I wonder if this is sharp enough that I can just go ahead and just trust my son-in-law's sharpening skills. He's the one that made my special knife for me out of a butter knife. Come on. I wonder if I need a firmer surface. Maybe that's too... Yeah, needed a firmer surface. That looks nice. I like the red on that one. In you go. There. Okay. So I'm going to... I'll deal with the backs of these off camera. You know, you open up the wings. I may have to trim the one that goes north and south on this one so that it's not sticking out. And then these will get glued down with 3-in-1. So thanks for joining me today as we prepared these little medallions to go on the cover of the list. And the next time we get together, I'm hoping that I'll have all the signatures ready. It's, as I mentioned, because I want this to be a book ready for listing, whether that be names or recipes or memories or whatever the new owner is going to do. It's going to be a nearly naked book, not so much pockets as much as fussy cuts and just beautiful pictures that I've saved out of Christmas books. So, so far, I'm pretty sure that's what my plan is. So, thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you're still here after all that, I hope you'll take one more second and click like for me, and even comment down below and say hi, and I'll say hi back at you. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye.